Okay, so where were we? Last time we were improving our camera a little bit. Yeah, we were improving the coordination of the unit movement and camera movement. And I think that's probably going to be the theme of the week here, is I want to refine our animations some more. And I think the plan for the near term, now that we have a unit testing harness in place, is let's just kind of sprint to finish writing this engine, I guess. And let's, without any shame or hesitation, let's just write some really bad code. And then once we have everything functioning, even if it's ugly, then we're going to go back and refactor and write unit tests and tidy everything up. I think that'll be the way to proceed. So now let's start by just doing our burn down check here. Make sure our game didn't burn down. Looks like I had commented out the debugging stuff. I guess I'll put that back for now. The first problem I want to address tonight is that really obnoxious rubber banding of the camera. I want to put a delay after the units get to their square before the camera just moves like that. It's really annoying. Game looks like it works though. So let's see. So what are we going to need? We're going to need to coordinate. It'll be again unit movement and camera movement. So I don't know. Let's pull up our camera, cursor, and units file. Yeah. The other thing too, I was thinking about this offline, I'm pretty sure we're going to want to create like a table for tracking turns and probably move a lot of this stuff in cursor into some turn. I want to say class, but it's not really a class in Lua. Just because again, I think I've overburdened this cursor table beyond reason. Well, okay, so let's see here. So what's the deal? The deal is we move a unit, the camera arrives at its square, and then I think we're releasing a lock there, right? Because that's when this now does work. The camera doesn't move until after the unit lands. So really we don't want to get there and release the lock. We want to get there and wait for n frames, and I'm tempted to make n like 15, I guess, which would be a quarter of a second. 15 or 30, I don't know. So what might happen is that these locks are changed from being ints to being changed from being bulls to being ints or something. And again, I'm sure that's like a disgusting way to solve this problem. I think a lot of the code we have now is pretty gross, but we're just gonna make it work, and then we'll make it pretty later. So let's see. If game.unit.lock and then, so this is our lock that prevents the camera from moving before the unit's movement is finished. Let's comment that out and just make sure of that, but I'm pretty sure it's right. Yeah, right. So and again, I hate all of this too, but we're not caring tonight about how bad our code is. We're just going to write it, and we're going to fix it. So, like, let's thoughtlessly for now just tack on a game.delay property, and let's say delay, I don't know. What is this? Let's call it unit, I guess. I don't know. And this is where we want to count frames. So let's see. I guess let's do this. If game dot, what did I just call that? Delay dot unit is less than 15. Then I guess we ought to increment it, game.delay.unit. Something like that. So it's, if it's locked, return. But once the lock is released, we make it here. If our delay is less than 15, increment the delay and return. So that should pause for 15 loops, I think. Let's see what it does. Didn't seem to do anything productive. Let's debug this value. Oh, and when we break out of the loop, we gotta reset that value. Let's make this 30 for now too, so we can really see it work, if it works. Okay, right there, that's not what I had in mind. We really only want to start this when it unlocks. This is gonna be like all kinds of race conditions here, but let's just see if this works, even though it's racing. Oh man, and our yeah, this is all kinds of terrible. That broke everything. Wow. All right. I still think this is fundamentally wrong. I just want to see what this does. Yeah, okay, sure. So this is... Okay, let's make that ineffective for now. So this is blocking the camera. It's just that we only want to start our delay timer after the unit has arrived. And this doesn't check when a lock is released, it just checks that a lock is not currently engaged. And we need to know the instant it is released. So it's a different question we're asking of it. So maybe again, this is all really horrible, like what we're writing. This is all really, really horrible. Let's take a look at maybe this is the way to do this. Let's say when a unit is moved, we set the value of game.delay.unit to 30. And again, this is really bad. This is really gross, but set game.delay.unit to 30, and if game.delay.unit is non-zero, greater than 0, then decrement it and end. Right? Did not visibly solve our problem, which is strange because, okay, if we look at the debugged value of del, it's 0, we move our guy, it's like the lock isn't being respected, so what's that all about? Oh, I didn't return. What happened there? The unit moved, I think. Let's move our guy again and see if player 2 takes his turn just off camera. Yeah, so player 2 is taking his turn. So we have something sort of working. So Where's our camera lock? Game.lock.unit or game.lock.camera. Where are we setting the camera lock? I don't remember. Okay, we're setting it down here. So if we set it here, we set it here. We assume the camera is locked. And if and only if we make it through this loop, we unlock it. See what that does. Yeah, okay. There we go. Let's make that delay value 60 just to kind of experiment. So we move our guy, there's a pause, we go to the CPU, there's a pause. Okay, now the CPU, it looked like, what did it do? We need one more pause when the CPU makes its turn. So there's a pause, then he moved, and then there's next frame, we're back to our guy. We want, let's see that again. We want him to pause after he moves too. So again, let's just do this the horrible, horrible way. Kind of looks like it should work. Why is it not? Maybe I'm just actually not seeing the movement. Let's change this. Let's make his move value 3 just so it's more visible. Because it sort of looks like that should work. Pause, move. Wait, is it the cursor moved before the camera did, and that's sort of not ideal. So we move, pause, move. I think he moved too early, didn't he? Move, pause. Yeah, he's moving too early. And also, he just clipped out of bounds. I don't really care about that, though. Oh, I think the sequencing is just wrong. I think there's a pause, then the camera leaves, but the camera needs to arrive again and wait again. So there needs to be like a back-to-back pause, because otherwise by the time the camera gets to where he is, he will have already moved off camera. I think that's what's happening. So let's, God, this is so gross, but I mean, again, we're gonna do this the ugly way now, and we'll fix it later. That's not right, though. Time move, pause. So the camera needs to get there, and then land, and then we gotta wait. So this is probably, again, in our increasingly bloated cursor table. Let's see what we have here. I think again we have two locks, one to track unit movement and one to track camera movement. I feel like we need two counters also. Pick away. It doesn't have like a pause, does it? That would be probably too convenient. Doesn't look like it does. Yeah, no, okay. Probably wouldn't really want to do that anyway. Okay, this is gonna be real bad. Okay. Yeah. Man, this is disgusting. I think this is like approximately a viable solution though. What am I trying to do? I want the camera, once it has arrived in place, and after the unit has moved, I want it to sit there for a little while. Maybe? What's it gonna do for us? Okay, those are running at the same time. That might have been it. Move, pause. No, not quite. Not quite. Could also just be easier to make ending your turn kick off a pause, but I think that might be similar to what we're already doing. We need a pause before the turn starts, sort of. But like only if it's the CPU's turn starting. Let's back out all that. Really, we kind of only need these pauses at all if it's the CPU's turn, I think. Maybe we only need one turn, but we always need it. Before the turn starts? I don't know. What are we trying to do here? What does this look like in two-player mode? In two-player mode, we don't need anything to change. Two-player mode is great. Two players is exactly what we want. We just need in one-player mode. What do we want? We need to prevent player 2 from moving until after the camera has been on it for some amount of time, because otherwise the movements are pretty close, imperceptible. So, what does this mean? We need to bail, like, here? That's not right. What does this do? What's that going to do for us? Probably nothing, because these are going to effectively run in at the same time, I think. I think this won't do anything. Yeah, it didn't do anything. Maybe we do fail here. Let's do this just the most disgusting way we can even imagine. Let's see. Yeah, just gonna do this a disgusting, horrible way. Maybe? Hey! Alright. Okay. Horrible, shameful implementation, but it does work. Actually works pretty good. So let's make this just slightly less offensive then. So what do we really have? We have like a unit delay and a CPU delay or something. Something like that. And then delay unit before becomes delay unit and delay CPU. And this thing goes away and becomes game.delay.cpu. Right? Yeah. It's unit, then CPU. These are in different states, different times. One's at 0 at rest and one is at 30. But I don't think I care. Again, given that this is really bad, and we're going to refactor it all out anyway, I don't think I care about this. That feels pretty good, though. I think that's about what I want. I spent a little time over the weekend looking at YouTube videos of Fire Emblem and Advance Wars to see how they solve this problem and some other problems. And this problem they just don't have because, again, we're doing something a little weird where we want each player to only move one unit per turn. That constraint doesn't exist in those other games, so their camera is just naturally going to be less jittery than ours, which is probably to our disadvantage, but I still think I like that mechanic, and I think this is a reasonable solution. Plus, really, this thing I'm doing here is an extreme case. You know, when we have a real game and movements have a range constraints and stuff, you're not going to be flying all over the map. You know, a normal turn is going to look like this or something. And if we get real fancy later, we might even want to like make that delay proportionate to the number of distances, to the number of tiles traveled or something. So when you're in tight like this and you're less, you know, susceptible to being disoriented by all the movement, we just speed up the gameplay. I don't know. Maybe that's overthinking it. This 30 frame delay doesn't seem bad either, really. I don't know. But anyway, that's really some bad code I just wrote, but let's commit it. It solves the problem. Well, let's comment it and then commit it. Take a look at our diff here. Okay. All right. Start off our debugging real quick. I just want to see what that actually looks like. Did that not work the first time? No, it does. Alright. Kinda sorta starting to look like a video game. Our debug's back. So, okay. What do we want to do then? We fixed our camera movement. Oh, here's a little bug I uncovered. This should be a quick fix, maybe. So we have a passable method. And currently it checks whether the tile at the given coordinates has a passable flag set. But what it does not check is if there's a unit at those coordinates, so we can get in a position where an illegal move is made like this. So let's box in our AI. It's like we don't know what he's going to do. So we need, for one, we need to prevent that from happening, and then two, we need to give the AI an escape hatch of some sort if no legal moves are possible. I don't actually know what it'll do currently. So first, let's refactor this, because we're needing a second check here. Man, I was really clever when I wrote this, now I regret it. That's the first check to make. Nope, reverse. What? Okay, good. So now we first check to see if our tile is passable. If, what do we have, unit.at XY game.map.units. So that should solve some problems. I don't know what this is going to do now. Let's see. I think it's still going to make an illegal move, but I don't know. Let's see what it does. Run it. So I can't put my guy in the water. I can't put my guy on my guy. Now let's try to box in our computer. See what he's going to do. Again, not this even really matters because it is, again, just some trivial stub we've implemented here. Yeah, it makes an illegal move anyway. I don't actually think I care to fix that. Who cares? Yeah. Good enough, whatever. That's a stub, it's gonna get ripped out, who cares? Oh, wait. Don't care. Okay. Okay, that all works. So let's see. Now what do we want to do? Could take a crack at the config stuff, even though it's not terribly interesting. I'll leave that in. I don't know. I kind of just feel like working on animation, so let's start that, because our engine, I guess, is like getting kind of close. I mean, the stuff we're obviously missing are unit movement constraints and the notion of attacking. That's a big one, and the notion of destroying units and then winning levels and stuff. But I mean, we're approaching the point where we run out of engine to write and need to begin doing actual game design. But the one thing we haven't really looked at yet is animation. So let's take a quick look at that and probably make a mess of it too, because again, I'm kind of intentionally making a mess here. I want to make a mess of everything, but cover all the whole surface area of the problem. And then once we kind of see what the solution looks like, then we can go back and refactor and write unit tests. I still think that's the way to go, because if I try to anticipate ahead of time how I'm supposed to write this, I'm going to get it wrong and I'm going to waste a bunch of time. So let's just keep writing bad code, I guess. So the most basic, I think, animation that we could even do is let's try to make this cursor kind of throb a little bit. I was looking at what Advance Wars again does the other day, and their units all kind of bob up and down, and the cursor kind of expands and contracts, sort of pulses in place, so you're never looking at a truly static screen. What game mechanics do you want to implement? I have a few primary ideas in mind. The core mechanic, so I'm calling the game balance of power, and that is an intentional decision. The core mechanic is, in games like, I mean, basically everything, Advance Wars or Fire Emblem or XCOM, or take your pick. You have like unit types. You've got like infantry and tanks and airplanes and whatever. But really, that is just a facade on a pile of math in the background. It's a spreadsheet in the background, right? Of like, this unit class has high attack and low defense, or high movement and long range, or whatever, right? What I want to do is throw away that facade and give every unit, for example, like a power budget and some stats. So let's say, I'm spitballing here, but let's say every unit has like attack, defense, range, speed, and hit points stats or something. So like 5 stats. And let's say you have a pool of 25 points or something that you can allocate among those units. That's what I want, is to create a game mechanic and some kind of lightweight lore to accompany that mechanic, where like there are like 2 parts to the tactics of the game. One is the obvious stuff that's in every game, like where do you move, who do you attack, etc. But the other is, how do you balance the power of your units because that could be this whole other meta game. Like if you and I are playing each other, and maybe your guy's on this bridge here or something, and I need to get through this bridge, and your guy's like, you put everything in like defense or something, right? I mean, what can I do? Do I take a guy and put everything in offense and make him a glass cannon, or do I, have the attack be weak but the range really long so I can get out of range before he can get to me or whatever? I feel like it would open up a new game mechanic, which is kind of present in all games, but it would really bring it to the surface in this game, and I think that would be interesting. I mean, it's an experiment. We might try it and we might find it stupid, but I think it could be cool. So that's the first thing I want to try. And then the second thing is less ambitious. It's just that I want, in this game, I want it such that each player moves 1 unit per turn. And there are a few reasons for that. One is because this is pick a weight, I don't see one sitting down and playing this for 12 hours at a time, right? You just got to pick a weight games. It's like more like a Switch game. You sit down, you play for 5 minutes, and you walk away or whatever. So I want this game to be really up tempo, and up tempo, and as such, like I think having it where you only move 1 unit at a time will speed up the tempo, because otherwise, again, it's like if I move everything and you move everything, one of us is going to be sitting there for 5 minutes or whatever while the other guy thinks. That's boring, Sounds interesting. I appreciate it. I think it could be interesting. There's a chance we'll conduct this experiment in game mechanics here and find that the reason no one else has done it is because it's actually, shitty for some reason. But I've never seen it, and I want to try it, and why not take the risk, I guess, right? So anyway, that's the core mechanic I'm trying to explore here. But like I was saying a minute ago, I think we're approaching the game design part of this project now. It's visible over the horizon now. Anyway, we're closing in on having an engine here that we can use. So let's take a look here. I think this cursor, what am I doing? I think this cursor is a sprite. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah. Let's do another gross hack. Let's make a small cursor. So let's see, big guy is 16, this guy's 32, so we bit shift or something, or just not be pretentious and do ×2. Again, at some other point I'll lay that out more thoughtfully, but okay, so now what do we need? We need to track. We can only measure time in frames, that's all we have. So we want that thing to throb over time. For now, let's just make it like half the time big, half the time small. So I guess the cursor and every object we need to animate is going to need to like track some frame value it's on, and if some test, then display a different sprite. Yeah, so here we are. So the draw method, first of all, just let's do the dumb thing. Did I save this? Yep, there's our small boy cursor. Okay. So let's just track what frame we're on, I guess. Seems fine. Frame is 0. And then let's say, I don't know, if self.frame is less than what do we have? We have 60 frames a second. I'll get this wrong. If it's less than 30, and let's do local sprite is 32. I don't want to spend a bar on this. No, wait, yeah, I do. Local sprite is 16. If sprite frame, if self frame is less than 30, which is half a second, then no, we're just going to default. Yeah, whatever. Fine. Fine. Sprite equals 32. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's gonna throb? No, it's gonna blow up. What did I do? Cursor 152. Function arguments expected near. Why do you think that's why it thinks this is a function. Oh wait, that self thing I think only works with methods, maybe. Yeah, okay. Right. Does self work? Okay. Okay. So I'm not implementing this. Spread of 16. Do it here. Alright. I mean, that's annoying, but it works. It's actually fine. I actually think from a game perspective, I actually dislike this. I think I'll back out of this, but I'm going to leave that for now, just because it's like, one, it's trivial to back out of, and two, that establishes the pattern we can use for animation. Okay. Sure. All right. So now there's a decision to make. You know, back to Advance Wars and, you know, most games, I assume the map is animated. I don't know if we want to do that or not. Like here. So like in Advance Wars, you know, like you'd have water animations and your dudes would be bouncing up and down and stuff. And there's that kind of cursor throb I was talking about. We still want to implement some kind of pointer arrow like that. But in Pickle 8, I don't know if we want to even try to animate the map like that. Right now we're only at 26% of our CPU capacity, and we're even running at 60 FPS, so I mean, we have the CPU headroom probably, unless our AI ends up being really sophisticated, which is within the realm of possibility. But at the same time, it'll be kind of expensive, I think, to iterate over each tile visible on the map. and I don't know if we want to do that or not. Even if we only animate like water or something, because we have two constraints, or three constraints really. One constraint is, again, the compute power of Pico 8, which so far doesn't seem like we're running up against that limit. Second constraint are the native artistic limitations of Pico 8. You know, we only got 16 colors and stuff. And then third, and most meaningfully, is presumably my own incompetence as a pixel artist, because I can do better than what we're seeing on screen, but I don't know how much better I can do. So I don't know if it's wise to try to make this look too pretty when I might just be in over my head if I go down that route. I don't know. So I don't know if I want to commit to... I don't know if I want to go down that path tonight. I don't know if I want to try to implement that, because implementing it is probably going to be a whole thing. I suspect we're going to have to like we're going to have to what? We're going to have to determine which tiles are visible on screen, which I guess is something. It's not every tile in the map; it's just the ones that are on screen. So it's going to be 16 by 16 tiles, whatever that is. And then we're going to have to iterate over those and get the tile ID, and then apply whatever animation we have. So yeah, we're going to have to frame count. I guess we could just have one frame counter for the whole map. I guess it wouldn't be hugely expensive, but I still don't know if I want to build all that, because I don't know if I want that feature or not. So I'm reluctant to go build all that now. Maybe it's more sense. Yeah, it's probably wise not to do this yet, but rather to take a first pass at making the map look better than it does now, just the aesthetics of it. And if we find that we can make it look passably good, and we find an aesthetic that we like when it's static, if that comes to pass, then maybe it's sensible to try to animate. But until we get there, I don't think I want to pursue that yet. So let's not do that now. This is a detail, but one thing I noticed is if you look at Advanced Wars, the units are smaller than the squares they inhabit. Like if you look at this tank. Oh hey, how's it going? Thanks for the raid, man. You are the first raid in the history of this channel, which is 3 weeks old, maybe. So we're doing some Pico 8 game development, and we're trying to make something that is kind of, sort of like Advanced Wars, but with some different mechanics. And if you're new to Pico 8, let me get you a link. It's actually really pretty cool. Pico 8 was Lex Alpha something. So I suspect most folks on Twitch know what emulators are, and Pico 8 is essentially an emulator for hardware that never existed. It's an emulator for fantasy hardware, and the hardware being emulated is like approximately Commodore 64 era or so. So it's like very resource constrained. And, you know, for example, like in the platform, you have only 16 colors available to you. That's it. You have 2 megs of RAM. There's a character limit of, I think it's 65,535 or whatever. Characters for your game, and a limit on the size of tokens, which in Pico 8 context means like your equal signs, your braces, your dots, etc. Turn down the music? Yeah, of course, of course. I appreciate the tip. I'm still fairly new to streaming here. So the gist is that it's a very resource constrained environment. Is that better, by the way? The music, audio levels? Much easier? Okay, thank you. Thank you. And then the last significant resource constraint is that your entire game, your art assets, your music, your code, everything, all has to fit within 32 kilobits. So it's very, very small, and it's a fun challenge. So that's the environment. And then what I'm trying to build a turn-based tactical game, kind of like Advance Wars or any of those other, really classic ones that we all like. But with one or two gameplay mechanics, changes to the gameplay mechanics. The simple one is that, in Advance Wars, XCOM, Fire Emblem, all these guys, the way it generally works is that each player moves every unit and then they end their turn. In this, given that this is a pick-a-weight game and people aren't going to sit down and play for 12 hours at a time or whatever, I want the gameplay to be very up-tempo. So I'm trying to make it such that, I move one unit, you move one unit, back and forth, more like chess, right? So that's one mechanic, and then the core mechanic that I'm trying to explore here. I've titled the game "Balance of Power," and that was an intentional decision because the core mechanic is that again, XCOM, Advance Wars, whatever. You have different classes of units. You've got your infantry, your tanks, your airplanes, or whatever. But those unit classes are just a facade on top of a spreadsheet. You've got, your attack, your defense, your hit points, whatever, right? I'm going to try to throw away that facade and just expose those, power levels directly to the players. And what I'm hoping is that creates a kind of fun metagame where each player has to balance his power. So, let's say, this isn't a decision I've made, but let's say that each unit has 5 possible stats, attack, defense, range, whatever, right? And then maybe you've got 25 points you can allocate per unit. So what I'm hoping is that a cool metagame emerges of not only how you move your units and stuff that you'd have in every game, but also in how you craft your units to attack to attack the opponent's units. That's what I'm going for in a nutshell right there. This is my first time doing game programming or whatever. I am a software engineer, but I'm not a game programmer. So this is a bit of a learning experience, but it's going pretty well. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you again very much for the raid. What do you do? And sorry, how do I say your name? Is it Melchizedek6809? What are you a software guy? Are you a game guy person? What's your channel all about? Yeah, of course. Also do game dev. Cool. What platform? Like Unity or Godot or something old school, or what's your deal? Voxel. That's really interesting. A custom engine. That's very, very interesting. I'll have to check you out. I'm familiar with the concept of voxels, but have no idea how you would implement that kind of thing, like at all. So I'll have to check it out. That's very cool if you've written your own engine. And you're using Lisp. I didn't know people even used Lisp for game development. Is that common, or is that how did you come to choose Lisp? Is Lisp like this scripting, like you wrote the engine in C, but you're scripting the more gamey kind of stuff in Lisp? Is that the deal? Okay, yeah. So your engine is C and your scripting is Lisp. Is that kind of the breakdown? I've never worked in Lisp. I can generally recognize it when I see it, because I know it's a bunch of parentheses. Still trying to integrate Lisp. Okay, cool, yeah. That's one of those languages I wish I had more experience with. I feel like that's one of the languages where they accomplish some, like, meaningful computer science, you know? I know Lisp has influenced a lot of languages and contributed a lot to the field, but I don't really know it very well. I'm writing this just in Lua. This is Pick-A-Wait is a Lua environment, and it's fun because this is an unofficial reference, but this is the entirety of the API reference that I'm aware of. It's very small, it's fairly intuitive, and there, you know, all they give you are primitives, which I really like. You know, it's fairly low level, because my day job, these days anyway, I do a lot of, like, kind of systems / DevOpsy kind of stuff, and unfortunately a lot of it I do in TypeScript, and man, that's like, it just is a pit of despair for me, because it's like you try to create like some kind of TypeScript hello world thing or something, especially like a React TypeScript hello world thing, and you're going up with like 10 gigs of dependencies and Webpack and all these layers of tools, and it's like no one knows what any of this stuff is actually doing, right? And that's not for me. What I really like is being, I don't want to say close to the metal, because again, there is no metal and there never was any metal here, but I like where it's just a handful of graphics primitives and a simple scripting language, and you kind of just build your thing up from there. I'm reluctant to say that I have built an engine here in the same way that you've built an engine, but I sort of did. It's just a really primitive engine for, you know, this kind of tiled stuff. I mean, this Pick-A-Wait doesn't give you a STIA. This is just something I wrote. Currently it's bad. You know, I need to refactor it, I need to write tests. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's nothing to be terribly proud of, right? I mean, it's just like moving around on a grid. But yeah, I don't know. It's been pretty cool. We're at the point in the project now where, like, since I've been streaming this, I've just been working on the engine-y kind of bits, the gamey, like you know, the lower level stuff. Now we're just starting to reach the point where, like, the actual game mechanic stuff is visible over the horizon. Like tonight's big, I mean, this isn't all I did tonight, but now we have an animated cursor. You know, it's starting to look more like a game. And then, like, the last couple nights, last 2 nights, and then tonight or something, I implemented just some camera tricks here. So, like, you move a guy and the cameras, you know, move around in a kind of a sane way and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. The guts are, like, getting there. Now it's just time to start working on, like, the actual gameplay and stuff. Because, like, right now, like, you can't attack units, and, you know, I can't beat this level. I can't blow up that unit or anything. But, you know, we're getting there. We're chipping away an hour or two a night most nights. So we're getting there. We're getting there. What kind of game are you working on? I know it's C and Lisp and Survival Voxel. That's right, Survival. Yeah. So, like, is that like like a first person, or like a Diablo style isometric kind of thing? Or when I think voxels, I tend to think isometric, but I guess that's not. I guess Minecraft, that's also voxels, right? So I guess that doesn't mean anything. Okay, yeah, the Minecraft thing, that's cool. That's cool. Can I follow you from clicking here? I change it this. How do I do this? I want to. Yeah, there we go. I want to follow so I can see what scripting a voxel engine looks like. Because again, I got no clue. But yeah, that's what's going on here. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going at it tonight. We just finished fixing our camera behavior, and we did some stupid little animations for our cursor. I was thinking about trying to animate our map, that's why I had Advance Wars pulled up here, is, you know, I'm drawing inspiration from a couple of games, but Advance Wars is the primary one. And I've been referring to what they do quite a bit. And I was trying to decide if I want to, like, animate every tile on this map, but I've decided against it for now because I think the hardest challenge of this for me is probably going to be the art stuff, just because, like, I'm not really an artist. I mean, I can model my way through anything, I guess, but I don't have any experience doing this. Yeah, of course, man, my pleasure. But yeah, I don't know. I think I've decided not to try to animate the map background until I've confirmed to myself that I have an aesthetic that I like and I'm capable of pulling off, which that's an unknown still. Different route for gameplay. Yeah, sure, that makes sense. I haven't played too much Minecraft, but I guess like in a survival, is it more of a focus on just like running away and hiding versus, of course, the building. Program art can never go wrong. Yeah, geez, right. Just don't let the engineers do the art, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna try to build a battle screen. Oh yeah, you mean so like these cute little animations? I don't think I will. What I'll probably do instead is just like, you know, when this guy goes to attack this guy, I'll probably do it all on the map, and I'll just draw like a laser going from guy to guy and a little explosion or something. I don't think I have the memory to do something like these guys are doing. And when I say memory, I don't even mean RAM, I mean ROM, really, because if you look at so pick a weight. Yeah, it's 32 kilobit, and like the way it works is like you've got a sprite editor, and again, right now everything just plainly looks like garbage. I haven't made any effort yet to make it not look like garbage, but you've got a sprite editor and a map editor, and you have like 4 tabs of sprites. So I mean, like to make any kind of battle screen at all would be like I'd have to burn like every tile slot I have, basically. It's very similar to the NES. In some ways it's ahead of it, and in some ways it's behind, I think. Like, it's definitely behind in colors, because my understanding is that the NES, you could have a 15 colors and an alpha channel on the screen, but you could choose those 15 colors from a palette of 255. Here, there are 16 colors in the universe. You can use them anywhere, but you have 16 colors and that is it. So in that case, we're behind the NES. But I don't know how much RAM the NES had. I think it might have been less than 2 megs. What are we going to see? Yeah, 2 kilobit. Okay, so we have significantly more RAM to work with than the NES. Man, that's really constrained. I didn't realize that. So yeah, it's kind of similar. It's sort of like, again, splits the difference kind of between the Commodore 64 and the NES in some ways. But it's been a lot of fun. Like, oh, and then you've got like a built-in music editor and stuff. I haven't screwed with this at all yet, but I'll probably start by making some sound effects or something. I went ahead and I bought like a synthesizer the other day, like a physical one, with an oscilloscope in it. I figured, okay, well, I can like model my waveforms in the synth by turning the knobs and stuff, and then when I find sounds I can come in here and, you know, kind of mimic them or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, basically it's going to be like, by the time it's done, hopefully a good engine and programming and like really subpar engineer art and music, like Dead C4 was saying. It's going to be probably graphically and musically underwhelming. Is the emulator also the game editor? Sort of, yes. So it has a very, very retro editor built into it, but I don't have the patience for that. I'm cheating here. I'm using Vim. And then what I did was I set up a Docker container that I'm doing all the building in. I'm trying to bring, like, I think Pick a Weight is for hobbyists, and that's not a dig at it. Hobbyist software is great. Hobbyists are great, but I'm trying to bring a little bit of professional software engineering to the table here. So I have a Docker container and a make file, and I do all of the compilation, the building in the Docker container, and I only have 2 unit tests so far because I just got that testing harness in place, but I now have the ability to run unit tests for this code and stuff. So like so anyway, yeah, Pick-A-Wait provides this, but this is one constraint I do not consider fun. I want to have Vim. I want to have a good editor. But the otherwise the constraints. Yeah, it's the thing. It's like, this is cool. I'm glad it's here. I think it's great for hobbyists. But I mean, if you've worked in Vim or VS Code or Atom or take your pick, right? This thing just is. This is going to be a not fun constraint here. So yeah, I bailed on that pretty quick. But yeah, that's what we're hacking away on. And now, I just kind of been here trying to pick the next thing to work on. Because I don't think I'm going to animate this map yet. Yeah, less than 80 columns, real bad. I don't even know how many rows this is, but it isn't many. 17, 18, 20 rows, something. Like, yeah, it's pass. And it doesn't even really have, like, lowercase letters. It's like, okay, that's too much for me. But yeah, next time we pick this up, it's very retro. It's very retro. Yeah, that is too hardcore for me. I'm gonna cheat and use the modern tooling, but make an old game with it. But yeah, next time we pick this up, I think we'll probably it's probably just a little bit of mundane stuff we need to do still. I want to create a like a menu option for like resetting the stage you're on. Oh, I do have some other maps. I've got 3 maps, but again, no effort has been made to making these maps good or anything. This is just, I needed to sketch out some maps so I could like make sure that I was doing the math right to move cursors around and stuff. Because like, you're back to the Pick-A-Wait thing. This is how this works, is you get some map tiles. So you can see, like, here's the entirety of what your game world can consist of. And then you're free to partition this space up however you want. So, like the way my, engine, I guess, works is that you specify, when you initialize a level, you specify the coordinates, the corner grid points from this visual ROM space, and you read it out and you write it to the graphics buffer, and then I'm overlaying this advanced war style grid on top of it, right? So again, very simple, very manual. You don't get much help from Pick-A-Wait, but I don't want much help. I want to write it from scratch. If I wanted something heavier, I'd be working in Unity or whatever. So yeah, very, very, very retro here. That's what we're going for. But yeah, I don't know. I might call it here for the night, I think, because about time for me to get offline here, and we accomplished 1 or 2 things tonight. So yeah, thanks again for the raid, and it's nice to chat with you. Nice to meet you. I'll be in your stream. What time do you usually stream? Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Let's make one last time. Just ensure that we didn't burn this guy down. Yeah, we're good. Alright. Yeah, we're cleaned up. Oh, okay. Should be a widget on. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'm in the Eastern time zone, but yeah, I'll hit up your page after I go offline here to see what you're all about. But yeah, thanks again for the raid. It's been a pleasure chatting, and I'll see you see you again soon in your chat, man. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. We will see you again next time. Have a great night. Take care.